Hi, my name is Haley Heckman, and I'm the Executive Director at Unsinkable. I initially joined Unsinkable as a storyteller back in late 2022, and then became the Executive Director over the summer of 2023. My introduction to Unsinkable came through one of our community champions, who suggested that I connect with the storytelling program. I have always been someone who loves to write. I've been really open about sharing my experience and has worked in the mental health space for a long time, so it felt like a natural connection. Going through the storytelling process, I really got to know different aspects of my story and really had a chance to think about it intentionally and see myself through a different vantage point, which was super powerful for me. And then, once my story was published, all of a sudden I started to see Unsinkable everywhere. Maybe it was fate, maybe it was the algorithm. Either way, when the role of executive director came up, I was so excited to be able to support this organization's next chapter. I am a huge believer and incredibly passionate about the power of storytelling to change perception, to encourage people to access support, and most of all, to create a safe and supportive community. I think that storytelling is such an underrated way of getting to know yourself as well. We all have stories to tell and we all have stories to investigate within ourselves. And so being able to continue to think about how we embed storytelling as an organization is something that I've been really excited about. When it comes to the impact of Unsinkable on my life, there's so many, just over the last number of months in this role. But I would say one of the biggest pieces for me was being able to curate and foster a team of people who are so passionate about this work. We've been able to build such an incredible team from, our program managers to our social media, to our EA, to, the incredible community champions, volunteers, our board. Like being able to see so many people come together around this topic and really believe in what we're doing has been immensely powerful for me to witness. When it comes to milestones that I've seen for Unsinkable over the last 5 years, there are so many. Ones that I've been a part of and ones that I haven't. There's been events, there have been, there was our PSA, there have been program developments for our community champions, for our Unsinkable Youth program, there's been stories around entrepreneurship. But I would say for me, the biggest one that I reflect on is the creation of our 3-year strategic plan. Not just because it's our vision for the next 3 years, but also because it was created by our community for our community. We had so many deep conversations with our ecosystem and really wanted to make sure we were embedding their voice into the way that we move forward. And so what does that mean for the future? I'm so thrilled to see that our focus is going to be on amplifying diverse voices, on cultivating community, on embracing thought leadership, and not just thought leadership for Unsinkable, but thought leadership focused on amplifying people with lived experience as experts in this space. We see a lot around physicians and clinicians and researchers, and we want to continue to benefit and learn from the amazing insights and data that they can provide. But there's also so much to be learned from people's lived experience when it comes to mental health. So many recommendations for systems change that we can all benefit from. And so I'm excited to continue to bring their voices to the forefront through our work in the future. Honestly, Unsinkable has been a game changer for me, both personally and professionally. I have loved every moment of being part of this organization, and I am so excited to wish Unsinkable a very happy 5th birthday and to many, many, many years of supporting our communities to change their perception around mental health, to cultivate community, and ultimately to encourage more people to access support for their mental health. Happy birthday.
Hi, my name's Maria Strada, and I've been working with Unsinkable since 2019. I was contacted by Silken, who had heard my story and invited me to be a part of the launch of Unsinkable. Initially, I joined as a storyteller and a community champion. Now, I am the program manager for Unsinkable Youth. Throughout my time with Unsinkable, I've had many memorable moments, but one that stands out is when Silken and I did the media tour for the launch. She expressed how impactful my story was and encouraged me to share to inspire others. This moment left me feeling empowered and hopeful. Unsinkable has always empowered me to be my best self. Silken created a safe and authentic space even before the launch, which has continued to this day. I always feel supported and accepted by the Unsinkable community, especially during my tough mental health days. Unsinkable has achieved something truly remarkable by providing a safe platform for individuals to share their story without fear of judgment. Anyone who wants to share their lived experience is welcome with open arms. As a manager of the youth program, I have witnessed incredible growth and expansion of Unsinkable from the very beginning. Our progress in the last 8 months has been nothing short of remarkable, particularly in creating a safe space for young people to be themselves. Collaborating with Just Be You this year has allowed us to have an in-person program, further solidifying Unsinkable as a powerhouse of positivity and support. I am continuously inspired by the dedication of the Unsinkable team, volunteers, and champs. It's our incredible community and partners who believe in our mission. But most of all, it is about the youth who inspire me with their authenticity, vulnerability, and courage. Together, we're truly unsinkable. Thank you to everyone who is part of this amazing journey.
What's going on, y'all? My name's Asante Houghton, and I am the manager of storytelling at Unsinkable. Now, once I heard about Unsinkable and what the mission was, it was obvious for me that I wanted to be involved. This is an organization that utilizes storytelling to support mental health. Two things I'm very, very in tune with. So, I mean, for me, yeah, like I said, no brainer. The first moment for me that was super profound at Unsinkable was how I got connected. So imagine waking up one day, you check your DMs, and you go in and you see a name there. You're like, this can't be real, man. Olympic medalist, Canadian hero, one of my personal heroes, Silken Laumann. Man, that was wild. So anyway, Silken Laumann in my DMs. I'm like, this can't be real. I replied. Next thing you know, I'm recording a video for Unsinkable. That was 5 years ago, before Unsinkable was really a thing. I was a part of the launch. So, that was, such an important time for me in my career, but also to see something that was just obvious from the beginning, an incredibly good idea. To be involved with that, I was all in from the beginning. So now, we at Unsinkable, we are creating community, which is obviously very important. One thing I really like about Unsinkable is our community champions program. So essentially what we do is we connect to Canadians from all over the country and support them in telling their stories, but also support spaces where they can come together, learn from each other, and really support each other in any endeavor that you could think about. We got things for youth, we got things for entrepreneurs, we got things for people who are not youth. So a lot is happening at Unsinkable. I'm really proud of where we are, supporting people to really get the most out of their mental health journey. So for me, reflecting on the past 5 years, I think probably one of the greatest accomplishments has been the growth of Unsinkable. Because when I got that first DM from Silken, it was pretty much me and another young person who were involved. And since then, I mean, we have dozens and dozens of people involved. If you want to look at all the stats, all the impressions, I mean, that's for us to know and you to find out. But essentially, we're doing pretty darn well these days. And our growth and our influence is only increasing. And that speaks to our vision, which is continuing to utilize stories to support mental health, continuing to utilize stories to bring people together, and continuing to utilize stories to create a better environment for Canadians with respect to being able to tell their mental health stories. So I'm really excited for where we're about to go. I just officially joined the team as an employee. I used to be a volunteer, but now I'm here on the team, and I'm super excited to contribute to storytelling at Unsinkable because I know that where we're going is going to be humongous. So stay tuned. It's going to be great. It's going to be incredible, and you should really be a part of this. Talk to you soon.
Hi, I'm Silken Laumann, and I'm so proud to say that not only am I Olympian and known as an Olympian in Canada, but I'm the founder of Unsinkable, and I'm proud of that because what we've achieved in the last 5 years together. So 10 years ago, I wrote a book, Unsinkable, and in that book, I made myself vulnerable. I shared how I had struggled and have struggled and do struggle with my mental health, and how I'd grown up in a family with a lot of dysfunction, primarily because my mom had an undiagnosed mental health illness, a mental illness that affected the entire family dynamic. And when I went on book tour and started talking openly about these hard things, these, pretty personal things, I started to understand the power of being vulnerable. How our real stories, our ability to be vulnerable with others, our ability to kind of understand our own story and how the events of our life have impacted us and our mental health, how that actually could affect another person and maybe motivate, inspire them to do some internal exploration, to maybe go seek counseling, to read some books, to talk to another person about their mental health. Everybody's got mental health. Some people really don't struggle with their mental health on a day-to-day basis, but might hit a crisis in their life, a series of events that will drive them into a mental health crisis. Other people are born, struggling a little bit more with their mental health. Other people have both, a series of events, some chemistry, maybe some family trauma, all of these things that mean they have to pay more attention to their mental health. And as I started talking about it and sharing more of my experiences, what I started to see was like everybody's got a story, everybody struggles, everybody has had something in their life that's really shaped them and defined them. And maybe by talking more, maybe by sharing more, we could help one another. And the idea that our stories themselves are very powerful. First of all, they're powerful for the storyteller themselves. For me to understand my story and to share it with myself is incredibly healing. But then to share it with others is also healing, because in the sharing, we're doing something helpful and hopeful for others by putting it out there, by saying, you know what, I don't want another person to think that they're alone, that you're alone with your shame, that you're alone with this idea that something's wrong with you, that your struggle isn't relatable to other people because, you seem to have it all. Everybody's struggle can be relatable. Yeah, we're all different. We have different stories, different circumstances, different cultural backgrounds, different ways of being in the world. But we have this connectedness in that we're all human beings, and we all are trying to figure ourselves out, and we have different kinds of struggles. And I think that story sharing is an act of generosity. It's in itself a healing thing for the storyteller, but it's generous because in telling that story, you're paying it forward. I think what I'm most proud of at Unsinkable is how we've developed this idea of sharing stories. What we've brought it to our community of storytellers, and they have shaped and grown the organization. We have youth councils now, where young people get together with youth leaders who often come from our Unsinkable community. And they, develop tools for their toolbox, but they also develop that camaraderie of talking about mental health in a safe space, educating themselves. When I was struggling the most in my mental health, I didn't even understand mental health. I didn't understand what I was struggling with. Was chemistry. It was trauma. I thought there was something deeply flawed with who I was as a person. I never want another person to feel that way. I want everybody to be able to recognize their story in another person's story, their life in another person's life. The way somebody looks is maybe the same as they look. Their experiences may be similar. And that's why we have the diversity in our stories. That's why we try to have all sorts of diversity in our storytellers. I'm proud of where we are today. I'm so glad to be celebrating our 5th anniversary, and I sure look forward to the future. I'm so grateful for those people that came on board early on, especially our sponsors, because we couldn't do it without Sun Life and Good Life, our primary first sponsors, and BDC and some of our other people that have come on board since then. It's just been a terrific journey so far, and I can't wait to see what we'll accomplish in the future.